But joining us right now, we love talking to him. Does a tremendous job from NBC Sports Philadelphia. You see him on pre- and post-game live. You see him on Birds Huddle. And you also see him with a Super Bowl ring, Mr. Barrett Brooks on the Comcast Business Hotline. What's going on, Barrett?
I'm good. I'm just saying, man, we got to put you on the 4-week IR.
Yep. No, I'll make it through. Dylan can try to hurt me all he wants. It's not going to happen.
So, Barrett, I got to ask you some of the things we've been talking about this week so far. At 7-2, and looking around the league where this isn't one of those years, even the Chiefs, who are undefeated, are flawed. Do you think it's fair to say that the Eagles have worked their way into being contenders? Not guaranteed that they're going to win, but contenders and being in that mix.
Well, just look at the NFL itself. There's so much parity right now in the NFL that all these teams are pretty close, as far as, the talent levels they have on these teams as far as players. But when I look at the Eagles, I see like we stacked the deck. I mean, wide receiver, running back, offensive line, quarterback. On the defensive side of the ball, probably the two best corners in this last draft. I mean, we have some players right now. So I'd have to go with the way that these guys are getting coached on the defensive side of the ball and how they're reading and reacting. And then looking at the talent on the offensive side of the ball, it's almost like we're supposed to be where we're supposed to be, if not a little higher. And all we have to do is just go out there and play our style of football. That's it. Just play our style of football. We're the only ones that could beat us at this point, to me. If I look at it and sit down and evaluate it, we're the only ones that can kick our own selves in the butt or who can beat us. If we make mistakes, we'll lose. If we don't make mistakes, there's not a closer team as far as talent in the league that I see right now.
It's interesting you brought up the two younger players because talk about Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, because can they keep this up for the long haul?
Well, they drafted them high because they are the number one, number two corners that were in the draft this year. So, I could see them saying, this is who they are. That's why they drafted them so high. But, when I sit there and I look at Quinyon came in with already NFL caliber technique. He was sound fundamentally. He was the best cornerback in the draft, number one. And number two, Cooper, perfect size, speed. He played on a team in which all they had was defense. Iowa sucked on offense, but all they had was defense to keep them in games. Defense and special teams, and he was a returner. So he has all the intangibles to be great. I say they can play like this because, number one, when you look at Vic Fangio and his coaching style, he is definitely a guy that teaches his guys how to play. And, most of the guys that I talked about who played underneath him as a defensive coordinator, that's what he said. He's going to tell you where to be, how to get there. It's up to you to take this information and go make it happen. And when you're young like that, you're going to take all this information in, and you're going to try to play it to the cuff as well as you can do it. All you have to do is just sit down, listen to what the players are saying on the defensive side of the ball. Hey, we saw this, we saw that. We saw this looking in practice. All that stuff is coming up because all the stuff he's teaching them is starting to come to, into the field. It's coming into. You look at the interception we had 2 weeks ago, and at the end of the game with Dean, he said, "I knew they were going to run this play on me. I knew how to play it." He called it inside the game. He called it. So that just goes to show the coaching is up to standard right now, and it's just them going there and executing.
Barrett, you've been in the media side and you were a player side, and we've been talking about this line between critic and hater. And for you, back when you were criticized as a player, I know you heard some of it, and even now when you criticize, what do you think the difference is between a critic and a hater?
The truth. That's it. The difference between all of that is the truth. Like, I can honestly go into that locker room right now, sit with those guys, and they can't say anything. All right, he told the truth. If I got my butt kicked on that play, he told the truth that I got my butt kicked on that play. Or if he did this and it was this play, when I sat down and watched the film, I tell exactly what happened. I don't embellish. I don't, overemphasize things. I just tell the truth about what's going on the field. So if I'm a player and you're telling the truth, then that's what it is. I'll tell one story, a quick story. There was a guy right now, great player. A great player, played offensive line, and they ran a screenplay. It ended up being a 5-yard loss on the screenplay. So I broke down what happened, how he was supposed to get this block. So the first person out on the screen has to get the mugger. The mugger has the running back man-to-man. The second guy out has to get the widest guy on the field. And the third guy, the guard, checks backside, then goes front side and gets the next block. Well, the first guy out went to the widest guy on the field instead of getting the mugger. And the guy that had the running back man-to-man hitting 5-yard loss, and, it must have been a substantial play in the game. So 3 days later, I go into the locker room. And he said, Brooksy, man, why you go at me like that, man? Why you say that? I said, what you mean? What? That I told the truth? How do you know it's the truth? I said, screenplay is simple. I mean, football is football is football. The same plays at Pop Warner, college, high school, NFL, they're the same, just got different names to it. And I broke it down. I said, you were the first person out, right? Yeah. I said, you were supposed to get the guy that had the running back man-to-man. Yeah, but now, if I was lying, I say, yeah, you have a point. You can come in and cuss me out all you want, and I got to take it. But you got to take this because I'm telling the truth. All right, man. But you didn't have to put me on the bus like that. I didn't. So in fact, I pulled the bus off of you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So you could tell your truth. But see, I told the truth, so I don't have to worry about it.
All right, we all know the defense, they seem to be growing every single week. Well, offensively, where do you think this team is right now, and how much better could they get?
Oh, I mean, they can get much better. I mean, they played with, a backup left tackle, which is the premier tackle in the league. It's the blind side of the quarterback. They played with a guy who's made himself a lot of money, number one, because he's played, Fred Johnson played well enough that he could be a starter somewhere else. Once they get Jordan back, you'll have a whole solid offensive line. So that's going to take away, all the restrictions as far as pass protection and everything else. You can call the whole game differently because now you have your solid five there. That's one thing. Now they've got, Goddard back. So that, that leaves them being even better because now they got somebody to roam the inside of the field. And then, by the way, our quarterback looks just as fast as ever, when he's running around and picking holes to go run. And then Saquon, the weapon, not the running back, but the weapon. I mean, they could be so much better by just calling, more run plays and screen plays. So the sky's the limit for this team, and they're just really starting to really comprehend how good they could be just by running the ball and using that in play action, which opened up so many plays. I said before, what if they just went out there and did play action underneath center like they did with the long bomb, the 20-something yard bomb to AJ? All they had to do is leave extra protection in. They left the two tight ends in, ran play action under center, and sent their best two receivers out. I mean, you didn't have to send everybody. Usually they send all the receivers out. They didn't have to do that. Leave extra blockers in because you're not going to throw it to them guys anyways. You're going to throw it either Smitty or Brown. Send them guys on a route. Pick your poison defense. You go one side, we'll go the other side. It's just, they just are so complimentary in how they can go out there and roll this offense out. The defense, you're wrong any way you pick.
Last thing, Barrett, we don't want to take too much of your time. Looking ahead to this Washington game.
I love talking ball, man.
I know you do. We don't want to take up too much. I know you do. Looking at this game ahead, you got a rookie quarterback who's played well, but he's a rookie. And you have us ultimate OG as a defensive coordinator. We used to talk about this. I remember you talking about a lot of this with Jim Johnson. Would always have a little wrinkle to throw off a rookie quarterback. Do you think Fangio's scheme's obviously different? Do you think he'll have something up his sleeve just a couple of times in the game to throw the rookie off?
No question about that. No question about that. And as a veteran defensive coordinator, he's always going to have a way to go up and mix up a rookie quarterback. Even though this guy's played, hands down,
it's good.
The best I've seen a rookie quarterback play in a long time. But he's still a rookie. And at the end of the day, defense coordinators get paid millions of dollars to stop offenses. And this guy's new to the system, and now they have tape on him now. So they see little idiosyncrasies that he's not comfortable with, that he's played uncomfortable with, what he likes and what he doesn't like. So all those things are factoring in on a game plan that they can customize to him now. So it's way different than those first 3 or 4 games that he played in. It'll be a way different scene there. These guys understand how to do that, and that's where the chess pieces are at right now. I have to say that Vic Fangio has the better chess pieces compared to his offense.
Well, as usual, Barrett, you're the best in the business. We love having you. It was great talking to you on Sunday. We appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Let's go, baby. Woo! Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Thursday night football. Let's go.
Let's go. Love it. I'm telling you, he's the best. Barrett Brooks, thank you so much for coming on NBC Sports Philadelphia. It's always a pleasure to talk football with him.